Welcome to the Metaphysical Network for Conscious Living podcast. The Metaphysical Network for Conscious Living helps people seeking community, connection, and spiritual development to feel inspired and empowered by providing enlightening experiences through seminars, workshops, podcasts, and fairs. We also will be providing conferences in the near future as well as retreats, and we're very much looking forward to that. Today, I have the honor of interviewing Sara Troy. She will be speaking at the Metaphysical Network for Conscious Living on the Tuesday, the 25th of November at 7 p.m. at the Unitarian Fellowship Hall in Nanaimo. Sara's talk is called Igniting Your Knowingness. She'll be talking about how to align your human traits with your divine soul and live trustingly in your meaningful purpose. Sara will explain how to activate this knowingness, how to trust and tap into the inner wisdom that already resides within us. So this is going to be an incredible talk, and we'll discuss what that's all about during this interview. Sara Troy was born with a unique gift. From a young age, she could recognize the hidden potential within others. Over her life, she has worked both professionally and as an advocate to help people lead more purposeful, meaningful, and productive lives. She believes that when we connect to others through the soul with an open heart and a passionate spirit, we awaken our minds to see the world in an illuminating way. Through her podcast platform, Self-Discovery Wisdom, and her community site, Orchard of Wisdom, Sara celebrates and supports individuals who are making a positive impact. Her programs include insightful podcasts, collaborative books, and the Mentors Practitioners Fund Action programs, showcasing mentors and change makers who are devoted to serving humanity. Welcome, Sara.
Thank you, love. Great to be here.
It's absolutely fabulous to have you here. Very excited about this interview and learning a little bit more about what you do. You and I know each other a
Mhm.
bit already, and so I'm so happy to be here doing this interview with you today. So, in your talk description, you describe knowingness as
Mhm.
both a spark of divine inspiration and a disciplined practice. Can
Mhm.
you share a moment when the spark arrived, but discipline was required to keep it alive, and what that taught you about balancing mysticism with structure?
Mhm. It was a long journey. I was born more in the spiritual realm. So I literally kind of in and out of different dimensions, and that's the world that I lived in.
Yeah.
And as I got older, it was very much where the knowingness was and how I could help people because I could see things that they needed from me. The structure was how to take that into a world where people needed fact-based proof, right? And the structure was as how to bring this forth in a way that other people that weren't as spiritual as I was, that could embrace that, how to ignite those heart and souls in other people. And the discipline is for us as human beings to understand this knowingness lies within each and every one of us. How do we access it? How do we channel it? And the discipline is to come out of our head and the what ifs or should I's. Will this make me popular, rich, or famous? And get out of that headset and the discipline to trust your heart and soul wisdom as it is the guiding compass to everything that we do.
Yes, that makes so much sense because many of us second guess inner
Mm,
nudges because they don't fit in cultural expectations.
exactly.
So, what was the first big decision you made against conventional wisdom, yet fully aligned with your knowingness? And how did the outcome reshape your sense of trust?
I don't think there was any one thing. As I said, I've always been this way. And then um, I kind of stepped into a world of motherhood. And when I was in business before motherhood, it was always these expectations, the way everybody wanted things done, but I couldn't see it that way. It didn't make sense. It wasn't aligned. It wasn't tapping into the energy. It wasn't tapping into the wisdom. So I kind of became a bit of a disruptor because I would bring that sight to what I saw to the equation, which wasn't always welcomed, although necessary, not always welcomed. And so I realized there at that point that I clearly see things differently. For me, it was always, why can't people see it the way I see it, right? And I realized that there was a lot of pushback against it. And for a while, I kind of tried to go under the radar. And, especially raising children, I'd raise them in a very spiritual way, but I wanted them not to feel different out there because I know how difficult that is as growing up as a child. So trying to step into a little bit of the parameters of the expectation. And really, quite honestly, I lost myself in that. I lost my not my soul wisdom. It was always there for other people, but I lost my connection to my soul in being it. I was doing it, but not being it. And it took a while for me to come back from that. And then the reawakening was when I let all that outside expectation go and really allowed my soul wisdom to shine through me again and to realize I am enough as who I am, and what I'm here to do.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's a great example. So you've interviewed hundreds of change makers
Hmm.
through Self-Discovery Wisdom podcast.
Hmm.
Across those conversations, what common daily habit or even micro ritual have you noticed that consistently strengthens people's connection to their inner guidance?
Well, number one, I interviewed you, and it was a wonderful interview, and I want people to come and listen to it because there's an awful lot of wisdom coming from this lady. I've done 3,000 shows on all, and from people all over the world, and on many different topics. I have 19 different genres. So whether it's business or spirituality, it doesn't matter. For me, I interview the people that are coming from the heart, that are stepping into the spirit, even if they don't know they're igniting their soul. But one of the common things that I've seen through there is when people stop people pleasing, when they stop living by expectation, when they start saying, all my troubles, all my angst, all my anxiety is when I've tried to live up to somebody else's expectation or dictation and not allow the essence of who I really am to shine through. And that discovery of who they are and what they're here to do is the journey they've taken now and the illumination that they're sharing.
Yes, thank you so much. So you're feeling that I'm hearing you say really authenticity
Yes.
is show up authentically, be who you are. Don't try to be someone else and don't try not to be what someone else expects you to be.
Yeah.
And that really opens you up to who you really are.
Hmm. And being
So
at home with self. That's
yes,
not really, you can't be at home with self if you're busy out there pleasing everyone else at
yes,
your expense.
yeah, absolutely. So in Orchard of Wisdom, you pair mentorship with
Mhm.
action grants.
Yes, this is a platform that I'm slowly developing.
Oh,
And I have the mentors and practitioners, and these are people that have shared their why shows. Why are they doing what they're doing? Whom does it serve and how? These shows will be around the business that they have, the coaching, the practice, and what they offer. And I'm hoping down the road for us then to have enough subsidy that we could subsidize their services for people who are at the crossroads of life. Because we know that when people are at a crossroads of life, that generally means they're out of pocket and they can't afford the services that are going to help them get back on their feet and embrace who all they are. And I don't want money to be something that gets in the way. So this is something I'm hoping to align with others with, or find a wonderful laboratory person that wants to come in and support it. But it is something that I am building on because if we subsidize those services, we're honoring the people who are giving the services, but we're also saying to the people that are at that crossroads, you're worth investing in.
wow, that sounds so interesting. So how does this shared community energy amplify individual knowingness? And can
Mm.
you recall a project where collective intuition moved the group faster than any strategic plan could have predicted? Because this is all
Um,
what you're trying to create.
yes, I mean it's hard to say candid group because I work individual, and even when I was working in various other organizations and doing things, it was always me kind of opening the doors for others. So I've always been that revealer. But it's when you see people get it. Oh, I am enough. Or this is what I really can do and I can contribute. It doesn't matter what somebody wants from me. This is what I have. And that everybody respecting each other's gift, looking at them as the whole orchestra because they've perfected their instrument and agreeing to play harmoniously together in order to have that transcendence. It's when people get it that I need to be the best instrument I can be and I can play as a soloist. But however, when I find that orchestra to play in, I'm now at home, I'm in harmony, and we are transcendent together. So it's when I think when people more recognize who they are as the individual to actually know the gift and how to find that right orchestra for themselves.
Yes, that's so beautiful and poetic. So for listeners who feel a calling, but also fear getting it wrong,
Hmm.
what for because you have a very interesting life story, and I can't wait to hear it on the night of the talk because I love the way it comes together for you, and that's something that we can all look forward to. But so for listeners who, like you, feel a calling, but they fear getting it wrong,
Hmm.
what's the first step that they can take this week or this month or this year to test drive their knowingness? Something small or repeatable, something they might measure or journal that helps convert inner certainty into outer momentum in your experience.
Get out of the head, stop thinking, start feeling, put yourself in nature, put yourself around children, puppy dogs, laughter, joy, music. Listen to the trees, they talk to you, the ocean as it laps the shore, the breeze as it clears your head. Tap in to all the beautiful divine energy that is out there that is ready to feed and support your soul. Allow it to do so. And you can't do that if you're dictating and anticipating and and thinking. It is a feeling thing. And that divine feeling is your compass. It will never see you wrong. It is always there to serve you. It
Yeah.
is always there to support you. But you got to get out of the thought. So put yourself in places. Some people may find it from meditation, Tai Chi, Qigong, riding a bicycle, dancing to music, being out in nature. Find out what it is where you lose yourself, because that's where you'll find yourself.
Yes. And Sarah, you have some books on the
Mm,
shelf behind you
hmm.
that you
Yes.
have either co-written or written.
Yes, all of those books behind me, like this is the one that we put out last year, Our Forgotten Children. This is an anthology around the raising of our children, what we need to be aware of and what we can do different. The book that I am doing now is Our Forgotten Seniors. I am gathering seniors who will come and celebrate all their triumphs, share their struggles, and also a warning to the youth, prepare for your seniorship. It comes up on you very quickly. And the other books that I've been in, Mission Accepted 262, I'm not selfish. I'm just not easily manipulated, and Dare to Live Fearlessly are books I've contributed to. And my other book there, Sarah's Soul Discovery, was my own memoir.
That's absolutely wonderful. And there are so many people out there who would love to write the book that is in their head, and
And they can.
that is their dream.
Hmm.
As well, maybe they would like to start a podcast.
Hmm.
And so you went from not being an author, not being a podcast
Hmm.
host, to being an author, being a podcast host, bravely moving forward with this amazing, really multifaceted project that you have going on here. So, how did you get from before to after in that? I heard your answer around, get out of your head,
Hmm.
And so a lot of just is, are you basically saying just get in there and do it?
You don't know what you can do until you try. Everything I've ever done in my life, and it could be because I've had the benefit of not completing my education and having to learn instinctually, knowingly, and participatory. It is all about allowing yourself to believe that, maybe I could do this. Let's give it a try. And you may find out, oh, no, this is not for me. We can cross that one off the list. Or, I didn't know I had that in me. But how do you know until you try?
Hmm.
I was at a major crossroads, which I will share on the 24th,
Yes.
that really could have had me go down right the rabbit hole and
Mhm.
give up. And then this opportunity of being a podcaster came up, and I didn't even know what a podcast was at the time. And now, 13 and a half years later, with so many shows under my belt, so many beautiful souls that I've had the honor of interviewing that illuminate our lives, that show us how, that support us in our decisions. It is truly something that I am honored to do and thrilled to do.
Well, thank you. If you had one sentence to say to the person who is watching this podcast and going, looking at those books and going, oh, where I wish I could do that. Oh, I don't know if I have the courage. I don't know if I can. What would be your one sentence?
Can I do this in a sentence? I had everything against me that told me I couldn't, but I decided to try anyway.
It was a decision.
A decision.
Yes, I have heard that before
Mm,
from a well-known
mm,
spiritual teacher or well-known
mm.
motivational speaker who says, just decide.
Make a choice. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
Oh,
We undersell ourselves all the time.
yes,
We do. And because we're trying to live up to the societal what we should be, take those shoulds out. How do you know what the beautiful essence of who you really are until you let it shine?
beautiful. Thank you. So, lastly, what can people expect or look forward to
Mm.
Tuesday night next week?
Well, after your wonderful speaker last month, you really had people literally on their feet. Mine is more kind of intimate. And so I actually am going to share my journey into totally and utterly embracing the essence of who I am. Because although I was that as a child, I didn't know any better, even though I was treated differently and I just still didn't quite get um, what the big deal was. Adulthood, then you try and please and everything, everybody, and it takes you down a different road. It's been a journey coming back to soul knowingness again and completely trusting it. So I'm going to share a bit of that journey. I'm also going to ask the audience to share a few snippets of theirs along the way as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait, Sarah. Thank you so very much. We look very much forward to seeing you and hearing you, experiencing you, having some fun with you, and having some amazing insights with you on the 25th of November at the Unitarian Fellowship Hall here in Nanaimo. Cannot wait.